today. You ready? Am I too loud?
No, you good.
Yo, 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 yo! What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all across the land? This is your man on the 1 and 2. Mic check 1, 2, that is. Your boy J. O'Neal coming to you live and direct across from the wonderful, the beautiful, the chocolate goddess herself, Courtney O'Neal. Yes.
What's up, everybody?
Yes, yes. This week, this month, this year has been heavy, has been beyond detrimental to society and important to history for forever. However, you know, I want to give, first and foremost, of course, a moment of silence to the families and loved ones of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. And then we're also going to play an excerpt from A Moment in Time within this week alone. And now we're going to play a moment from Tamika Mallory's overall speech.
This is a coordinated activity happening across this nation. And so we are in a state of emergency. Black people are dying in a state of emergency.
Say that, sis.
We cannot look at this as an isolated incident. The reason why buildings are burning are not just for our brother George Floyd. They're burning down because people here in Minnesota are saying to people in New York, to people in California, to people in Memphis, to people all across this nation, enough is enough.
Yeah.
And we are not responsible for the mental illness that has been inflicted upon our people by the American government, institutions, and those people who are in positions of power. I don't give a damn if they burn down Target, because Target should be on the streets with us, calling for the justice that our people deserve.
Talk about it, Tamika.
Where was AutoZone at the time when Philando Castile was shot in a car, which is what they actually represent? Where were they? So if you are not coming to the people's defense, then don't challenge us when young people and other people who are frustrated and instigated by the people you pay. You are paying instigators to be among our people out there throwing rocks, breaking windows, and burning down buildings. And so young people are responding to that. They are enraged, and there's an easy way to stop it. Arrest the cops. Charge the cops. Charge all the cops. Not just some of them, not just here in Minneapolis. Charge them in every city across America where our people are being murdered. Charge them everywhere. That's the bottom line. Charge the cops. Do your job. Do what you say this country is supposed to be about, the land of the free for all. It has not been free for black people, and we are tired. Don't talk to us about looting. Y'all are the looters. America has looted black people. America looted the Native Americans when they first came here. So looting is what you do. We learned it from you. We learned violence from you. We learned violence from you. The violence was what we learned from you. So if you want us to do better, then damn it, you do better.
And I don't really, you know, when you hear that, I really
Every time
feel,
I hear this, it chills to my heart.
because it resonates. She put those words to, and you could tell, I don't even think that was a speech she wrote. That was from the heart, and how she, and you could tell she had to stop, she had to catch her emotion, she would even catch her breath, because you really do have to articulate your words, your emotions, and what you say nowadays, because the media will change your words. People will outline your behavior and your emotions and how you say things and how you speak using your hands in any type of body language they can. But the point is, Tamika Mallory, born September 4th, 1980, we definitely want to salute you, young lady, beautiful black American queen. We love you for being an American activist. And let me recorrect myself. I actually was, you know, incorrectly informed on the fact that she was the actress. She's an activist. One of the leading organizers from 2017 Women's March. She and her 3 other co-chairs recognized in the Time 100 that year. She's also a proponent of a gun control Yeah, so gun control movement as well as a feminist movement. And also, of course, she has her hands within the Black Lives Matter movement. So shout out to her. Beyond that, I want to shed light on this as well. In 2018, Mallory drew criticism for her attendance at an event with and past praise for the controversial Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan, which prompted calls for her resignation from the 2019 Women's March. Following later allegations of anti-Semitism, Mallory left the organization in September 2019. Long story short, the lady has been out here in the streets about a movement, been out here in the streets standing for a cause, been out here standing for something rather than falling for anything. As some of these celebrities are doing these days, standing next to mayors who are telling people not to go out in the street and have a voice and stand for themselves, but yet people are driving their cars in the streets of these same cities, such as Atlanta specifically, let's just be real what we're speaking about here, and getting ripped out of their cars because, they're not abiding by the curfew. The curfew was just placed yesterday. Some people were not at home, were not on their phone, on the computer when you put this curfew in place. These children are children because let me stop calling them children. They're college students. They just graduated college. They're going, minding their business, and this is a boyfriend and girlfriend couple. College is Morehouse and Spelman. And they were pulled out of their car, and the family, as far as we know, still looking for and worried about the well-being of their nephew and his girlfriend. They're from Chicago. The nephew's from Chicago. And we're gonna dive into that story a little bit more details as far as names and everything and how that's playing out. But let alone, the mayor of Atlanta, Keisha Lance Bottoms, is calling for people to be peaceful, having Killer Mike and T.I. at a press conference and wanting to speak on things, talking about T.I. owns half the West Side. Well, duh, that's why the fuck that nigga in there, because he owns half the West Side. But at the same rate, T.I. kids at home. T.I. kids at home in a mansion with a couple other mansions to fly to and go to when they get ready. At the end of the day, when I go out to 85 and I go from Charlotte to Greenwood to go see my grandparents, I got to worry about being pulled over by a state trooper, because at the end of the day, if that happens to me, not T.I. Tiny Harris' son, I can be shot and killed. You feel what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the worries that I have and the worries that him and his children have are not the same. And that's just what it is. And then when him and Killer Mike get up there and they speak about this and the third, Killer Mike talking about something, he remember when, police officers black and white police officers didn't want to work together, or he has cousins and family members who are within law enforcement. It's not about, specifically, the looting isn't happening because people are wanting to loot. Yes, there is ignorance out in the world. There is that energy that is just stupidity beyond levels, and it's definitely setting society back. Not just black people, brown people, Mexicans, Latinos. It's setting us back as a whole. But the root cause of the anger is coming from the division within race and equality, and that's just what it is. So at the end of the day, it's like people were looting Target, specifically the first store that got looted in Minneapolis. That specific Target was because they were protesting, and that Target did not want to sell them milk. That Target did not want to sell them any type of aid as far as products that would help them be relieved from the tear gas and things that the police were using to, control the situation. So at the end of the day, do I feel sorry for Target? Fuck no. Do I feel sorry for Starbucks, for fucking Best Buy, Apple, Gucci? None. For one, Gucci put out fucking racist ads. Why the fuck do I care about anybody breaking into a Gucci store? No. At the end of the day, these people are being ignorant. It's not right. But guess what? We're being heard. The whole fucking globe has to stop and look at what the fuck is going on in America right now. And even though it was done back then, what happened back then isn't faced with the changes of what can be done now. As in, who's to say that from all this pressure around the country regarding these protests that they finally say the DA in Minneapolis, who still should have already made this decision, go ahead and charge the other remaining 3 officers within the case of George Floyd.
We got to see about getting to that point when you're so angry we're not listening. And the president has already said once the looting starts, the shooting starts. So we are giving them more ammunition to kill us. We're giving them more fuel for their fire by us being so angry and looting businesses and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not the riots that's the problem. It's not the protests that's the problem. It's when they get violent and when they're not being compliant and there's so many people, they can't single-handedly say this person started the riot or this person started the fire and the loot. So everybody, I'm going to shoot everybody, and that is not fair because, again, like I said earlier, in our private conversation, I'm not going to die today for this. I'm sorry. I do want change. I do want justice. I do want to be heard, but I'm not going to die today for this. I have shit I have to do for my family to break generational curse that I have to do. And if I die today, baby, it's not going to get done. So we need to think about that.
Bigger pictures.
We need to think about the bigger picture. Period.
And I definitely don't disagree with you there. As I told you, you know, I feel 1,000% when you coming from. My thing is this: blue badge, black badge, pink badge, polka fucking dotted, powder puff, law enforcement, fire fucking department, ATF, VBC, ABC, 1, 2, 3. I don't give a fuck who you work for. If you disrespect me, as in, you know, unlawfully pull me out of my car, anything unjustly within the lines of complying with your duties as an officer, I'm not going to oblige by your order and authority.
Well, and then too, that's going to be whatever consequences that come back on you. And typically you're a black man, they're going to shoot. They're not going to use the taser.
No.
You know, they're not going to use the rubber bullets.
They're going to use deadly force.
They're going to shoot and kill you.
And I'm going to meet them with that same deadly force. But again, that's not to say that my mental is of ignorance to be out here, you know, moving angry. No. If I'm speeding and I get pulled over, I deserve to get a ticket because I got caught speeding. Cool. If I'm speeding and I get pulled over and the cop draws his gun, I walk into my car and he is threatening, like basically, you've already intimidated me and you put me in a mind state of a threat when you're coming to my door to stop me for speeding with a gun out drawn at me. No. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not rolling down my window to talk to you. By law, I'm only required to for 3 inches. So I really I'm not doing that much now that you have a gun out at me and I know that the door, the car, the window, the glass is the only thing protecting me and my body from this bullet. As a matter of fact, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull off, and you are going to. It becomes that. You get what I'm saying? It becomes that long drawn out scene where now social media, Instagram, CNN, MSNBC, everybody, all the news outlets are watching this black man getting ripped out of his car and getting pulled out and getting shot and killed. Boom, Rodney King.
Yeah.
Boom, and you know Sandra Bland, all these other people, and yeah. I'm not saying I'm not saying that those people who in those moments were standing up. And what we're speaking about, we know these people have passed. You know what I mean? That they lost their lives to police. At the end of the day, maybe they didn't. Their action within taking a stand in those moments may not have been correct, but their stand wasn't incorrect because what was happening to them was not right, was not just. You get what I'm saying? So maybe Sandra Bland could have gotten out of the car and been less combative with her words and her verbiage. Stop cussing at the officer, boop, 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 whatever. Maybe, I always fuck up his name. Philando Castro. How do you say his name?
I do definitely
Don't know. What's his name? Anyway, the man who was murdered in front of his girlfriend and their baby.
Yeah, him. I do.
Yeah, Philando Castillo. It's Philando. Y'all know who he's speaking of. My point is, these people who've taken stands or who even with him, he didn't even get out of the car. He stayed in his car and was just letting them know. He even told them he had a gun in the car, and they still killed him. Moved his girlfriend and the baby away from the situation at a time when they separated him out of the car and they killed him after the fact. They shot him in front of the police car, actually. So, for me, everything hits home because it's like I just explained, now when I'm driving on the road, I'm nervous. You know, beyond when we get pulled over as black people, we're already paranoid. I don't know about y'all, but anytime I get pulled over, it's for a seatbelt, speeding 5 miles over, or a blunt that I know I can't get nothing but a simple possession for, and it's a misdemeanor. I am sweating. I am shaking. Like, and not, oh shit, like scared, crying, officer, please don't. No, I'm not like, for lack of better words, bitching, like, you know, but I'm frantic because I'm anxious. I don't know if this man is about to kill me. I don't know if I should actually pull the fuck over. Not because I don't want to abide by the law that, you know, is the law of the land and I'm bigger than that. No. Most motherfuckers who look like me that do try to abide by the law, that you know, succeed to the land of the law and that are not bigger than, and that, you know, they recognize authority, end up dead. I've only been in jail one time in my life. And it was for, it was marijuana. Like, not simple shit, but marijuana ain't some shit that's new to anyone going to jail over. Period. So, first experience for me, they put me out the car. You know, the car smelled like weed. I smelled like weed. I knew what was up. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm not arguing with you. I put my hands behind my back. I got in the car. I had my girl with me. They put her in a different car, took her to the station. Somebody came and picked her up. Boom. That was the end of it. At the same time, though, we do have some people who do have that stupidity, who do have that level of ignorance. They're not going to comply with the fact that the car smell like weed, they're combative, they're arguing. They might even pull off because they already know they're in the wrong from when they got pulled over to begin with. You get what I'm saying? You have people who are ignorant, who are looting. Because, shit, it's trending. These niggas breaking in Gucci, let me go breaking somewhere else and get some other shit. You feel what I'm saying? It's nowhere in any way okay to be out and about within the protests of the deaths of black and brown people regarding their race, which is not right, just for the purpose of a trend. If you're out there and actually standing for the cause, which is inequality amongst races, then you have more than ample right to be out there. But to think that, you hurting, you got to think these people already control our economy. They already control our money. They burnt down Black Wall Street. As African Americans and as a minority within America, we've already tried to build our own society that the Asians already have regarding, how they come here and they already get stipends as immigrants to America. Then they open up their local mom-and-pop Chinese restaurants or their mom-and-pop Vietnamese nail shops. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you also have those Spanish people who, rightfully so, come here as legal, not illegal, but legal immigrants. And they get their stipends as well. They get their reparations when they come to America. And they open up their Los Ecros and the, not the Tijuana Flats, it's more like the American franchise restaurant, but the Spanish restaurant, the Spanish restaurants and cuisine. That's my point is, if we want change, let's go about the right way. You feel what I'm saying? I don't expect them to give us no check when we go to for being slaves and building this fucking country from 450 years ago. If they was gonna reprimand us and give us reparations, they would have done it a long fucking time ago. I'm not worried about that shit, but at the end of the day, what you're not gonna do is continue to kill us and disrespect us, and then steal our culture and live off of it, thrive off of it, build off of it, and move forward. People, a lot of the things, when people say that America was built on the back of African Americans, people always point to slavery. Man, fuck just slavery. You gotta think. People give Thomas Edison the credit for building the light bulb, but this motherfucker stole a blueprint from a fucking slave. People give not Bill Gates. Bill Gates created Microsoft, but he didn't create the computer. I forgot who created the computer, but they gave a black man created the computer and a white man stole the blueprint for it, and it was made. Boom. My point is, beyond that, beyond inventions, beyond slavery, in 2020, in today's time, thousands of years later, pretty much every other race thrives off our culture. Literally. Fashion, music, hairstyles, communication. There's do you not realize we have an urban dictionary just because black people have a different way of speaking to each other when we refer to each other? That's something we Google an urban dictionary because it's a little different way within we interact with each other from other people, but they put that on the internet for them to be able to look up and translate for themselves so they can come back and interact with us.
Right. And we got to start somewhere. Like I said, this is not going to stop today. It's sad it's been hundreds of years and we're still fighting for the same thing. But we can't keep going about shit in the same way and not getting no results and expecting results. We cannot continue to do the same shit that they have been doing years and years and years before us, our ancestors, and then expect change. Then I seen posts was like, well, I'm not my ancestors. I will fuck you up. Okay. And then once both of y'all fucked up, then where we at? We just fucked up. We have to figure out a better way. We have to outsmart our enemies. Because right now they're knowing every move that we're going to make. They have already analyzed us all the way down to the bone where they know when we make them mad, this is what they're going to do. So this is what we're going to do. But when we flip it up, like we talked about earlier, if you flip the switch, they're not going to know how to attack us. Because we're not giving them what they automatically expect out of us. And I feel like that is how we're going to get a change. Yes, start with locking up the cops. Yes, because that's the problem. But we need to go about it a different way. We need to be protesting and rioting the police stations. If y'all want to start somewhere, Target ain't the problem. It's not. Whether they want selling whatever they were trying to, sell to people, go to the source of the people. We mad at the police. We're mad at the governments. This is where we need to be fighting at. This is where we need to be riding at. This is where we need to be throwing shit and burning shit if we want to be heard. We go to that goddamn courthouse and burn out all them goddamn records, then I bet you some people gonna be doing something somewhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're doing it in the wrong places, and we're going about it the wrong way, I feel. And I'm angry just as well as the next motherfucker. I'm very angry, and I'm sad, I'm scared, but at the same time, I'm not finna try to implement what I done seen somebody else doing, and they ain't got no damn results. Exactly. I'm sorry.
And just because you see someone, don't allow someone else's ignorance, someone else's stupidity to ignite that within you. You gotta think. Just because I see, say if I know Courtney from a can of paint, but I see this black woman walking up to AutoZone and busting windows, I'm not finna go join her. Yes! Bust those windows out! Take all the car oil! Pour it in the street. Like, what?
Just monkey see, monkey do right now.
What is the point? We're not getting nowhere at all. And then on top of that, Courtney could be the police. So if they done send Courtney out there to start the shit and she ignites this energy within me and all these other people around me, well, damn. The police the ones who got us out here looking stupid and the same ones who come behind that stupidity and killing us, and then they get to clean up behind it and continue moving on with life, controlling the same unequal ass laws and systematic ass systems that's been in place for years, and then shit gonna be changed and nothing will be done. People are not even realizing, within though, like I just stated, within those areas where protests are starting, if the police is starting some shit, all you have to do is expose that shit. They're saying that in Minneapolis there was a police who tried to start an incite violence by actually busting out windows of an AutoZone. But when they brought up the next screen of the actual video, same video playing, the actual Minneapolis Police Department was untouched and unscathed, was boarded up. It made no sense to me, and now it's actually resonating and making all of the fucking sense to me. Of course it's not going to be touched. If we're the ones that are causing the damage, who gonna fuck up our shit? You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, people just need to be way more sensible of what the fuck is going on, way more aware, and there's nothing wrong with us protesting. As a matter of fact, we deserve to be out in the streets protesting, causing all type of motherfucking havoc. As in, when I say havoc, I mean stopping time and making people pay the fuck attention is what I mean. I'm not saying, and that don't mean you gotta go burn down a building to do it.
Right.
But if it takes a 1,000,000-man march to stop traffic across the fucking globe so you can know that, bitch, you ain't going to be able to get on the interstate because right now we need you to know black people are dying every fucking where, I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for you not being able to make it to your destination that day.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, peaceful protests, I'm all with it. It's just the violence because it's just causing more violence, and we're not getting anywhere with the violence. Yes, I'm fed the fuck up, but it'd be easy to go around and blow everybody the fuck up. It'd be easy to do that. But at the same time, we're not going to get anywhere. We're not getting anywhere like that. We're not getting anywhere, people. And we got to, like I said, we got to outsmart our opponent. We got to figure out another way. No, you cannot fight a war with love, peace, and happiness, but you can fight a war with intelligence. So, that's what I'm going to leave it there. And say what you want about me, your opinions. I'm not waking up every day wondering about what somebody's opinions are about me. But I am waking up every day looking in the mirror, figuring out what I'm going to do to make a change in my life and whose ever life that God's going to let me share my purpose with. So that is what my goal is every day when I wake up. And I cannot save the world, and I'm not here to try. But I am going to make whatever differences that I can myself. And if everybody thought like that and was like that, then we'll be in a better place. Instead of waiting on somebody else to go off and be mad about something and waiting on something else tragic to happen, they didn't want to come together and fight about some bullshit. We could have been came together.
Yep.
We could have been came together. We don't always have to come together within, chaos. So, therefore, I feel like, again, we're not going to get anywhere doing the same old shit that's already been done. I don't give a goddamn how angry you are. They were angry back in the damn day when they were getting watered down by fucking hoses. Shit. So it's the same damn anger today.
The same fucking anger, the same amount of energy too, because Keisha, Miss Barnes, I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. You up there talking about this is not what we did when Martin Luther King Jr. was murdered in our city. We did not go out and start riots. Well, what city were you in 1996? Because when you said that shit, the same person who posted you speaking dumb as fuck at that press conference had on the next swipe across video all the rioting going on in Atlanta, Georgia when that nigga was murdered. And not even just Atlanta, nigga, it was riots every fucking way when he was shot and killed. So what lies are you not trying to tell us? And that's all of the lies that you're trying to tell needs to be stopped. Like, cut it out. You even told on your fucking self within the press conference, and not to hone in on you, but the only mayor that I fuck with within a city where protest is popping off right now is Governor fucking, not even mayor, but person of public official. Let's say that. The only, like, public official I'm fucking with right now in all these states where all these protests are popping off is Governor Cuomo. Period. And with that being stated, I'm actually going to pull it. Did you hear what he said at the press conference for coronavirus in New York the other day? Man, that motherfucker basically said, he said, I'm with the protesters. I'm out. And walked off the fucking stage. Gave no fucking update on corona or nothing. He didn't give a fuck. Fuck corona, nigga. The bullets gonna kill us quicker anyway. At least with corona, I can live for a few days, goddamn.
Exactly. Time to repeat.
I'd rather catch corona than get pulled over by a cop and die any day. I'm sorry. At least I can know that I might live past it. You feel what I'm saying? Within my age range, of me catching the virus. I got a better chance of fighting the disease than I do goddamn law enforcement these days. So it just is what it is. That shit is sad though. That's the reality for your ass. That is reality for your ass. Oh shit.
I've cried enough.
I'm sorry about that.
I've cried enough.
I'm tired of hearing about you crying too. Governor Cuomo. He went the fuck off. And people are saying that, these officials are wrong for activating the National Guard. I mean, what do you feel? How do you feel about that? As far as them activating the National Guard within these cities where, these looters are going off, riots are beyond just nonviolent protests. They're actually violent. They're burning police cars, vandalizing police cars, vandalizing buildings, breaking into malls. Then its mall was thrashed. Complete. And then it's so sad. This is why I don't know if it's certain groups targeting shit. There's a group of women in Georgia who own a high-end boutique, a salon boutique. Nothing was left. And I'm when I say nothing, the metal frames of the countertops. You know how a store has like a counter.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah.
Those women worked hard to get those businesses. And like I said, it's just I feel like this is now giving people a free opportunity to do a whole bunch of bullshit that they've been waiting to do. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you've been sitting back hating, watching that same businesses that as soon as the looting started, that's the first place you hit up because your ass could get up off your own ass and get out there and get it like that woman or that man did. Mm-hmm. And that's not right. This is not fighting for a cause for me. You know what I'm saying? This is not making no sense. You're not telling me you burning down or tearing up somebody else's establishment is gonna make anything better. It's gonna bring us any justice. That motherfucker who killed that man is still out. He's still uncharged. He's still damn near unbothered by your black ass.
No, they charged him.
I mean, well, it still had to come about. You know what I'm saying? But still.
Because I'm sitting here thinking how they gave him $500,000 bond, and I ain't heard about it being posted. But hell, we probably won't hear about it being posted if it's posted.
No, they said he on suicide watch.
I heard it too at 15 minutes, so it's like.
But whatever, you know what I'm saying? We're going about it the wrong way. Tearing down those businesses, going to raid Lenox Mall. For what? Because you couldn't shop in Lenox Mall before the looting and the raid, baby. So now you want to go fuck it up and steal everything you always wanted. That's fucked up. And I'm not supporting shit like that. I'm sorry. Because you bring your ass over my shit, fucking up my shit that I don't work for. I'm going to bust your ass.
That's what I said too. Like, I'm going to be real.
Busting ass.
For those business owners who know what's going on, if you black, you should have been standing in front of your business.
But okay, with all of those millions, you know what I'm saying, hundreds of angry people.
I would have already had the mental state to be like, let me go load my shit up and sit and park right here. And I'm going to tell you, I'm with you, but don't fuck up my store. Because my store ain't got shit to do with that man there.
So then, send the troops.
All that shit.
Send the motherfuckers. Get these motherfuckers back in order because they out of line. They out of line. If y'all want to go protest and riot, take the shit to the courthouse and to the fucking police stations. Do not be going around fucking up businesses. Because when this shit settle down, holidays coming. I don't know about y'all. I'm an American. My motherfucking mama loves shit every day. So on Christmas, I know this shit still, corona or not, she gonna want some shit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to go there and get some shit.
Mama, the whole family. Everybody gonna want some shit. Corona or not.
So
Niggas
therefore,
you think motherfuckers still sanitizing boxes?
this is, you know what I'm saying? This is, you know, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Ain't nobody.
I need products and goods for my business. Where the fuck am I gonna get it from if all of my suppliers are burned
That's
down?
what I'm saying. People talking about sanitize the box when you get it shipped to you. By the time the fucking box gets to me, 30,000 people done touched it anyway. It's a wrap. If I'm gonna get it. It's just like that's how I feel. B. Simone said it best. When this shit broke out, she said, she's been about manifestation, but she said, you're only going to catch corona if your mental state allows you to contract the disease. And you're stupid. You can't catch corona if you think you got it. No. But everything starts with your brain. If you're weak enough to believe that it can consume you, then it definitely will. And that's with corona. That's with debt. That's with dying because you're black and these white people are racist and you're going to let that anger fuel you and end up killing you in the end. It's with everything. If you allow your mind to be weak and succumb to the circumstances in our society within the United States of nothing of America. I'm just playing. Actually, it's within the America of nothing united. But at the end of the day, it's just like shit has to change. And so, again, we stand with governors.
Point about the larger context of what's going on in Minneapolis today, which I'm sure is very distressing to all of us. And I want to begin by offering our personal thoughts and prayers to the family of George Floyd on behalf of all New Yorkers who have seen that incredible video. We can imagine your pain, and you are in our thoughts and prayers. I would also suggest that when we think about this situation and we start to analyze the situation and the reaction, let's not make the same mistake that we continually make, which is we tend to see incidents. This is an incident, an isolated incident, and people focus on an isolated incident. It's not an isolated incident. It is a continuum of cases and situations that have been going on for decades and decades and decades. These are just chapters in a book. And the title of the book is Continuing Injustice and Inequality in America. And these are just chapters. The chapters started modern day Rodney King in Los Angeles, 1991. Abner Louima in New York, 1997. Amadou Diallo in New York, 1999. Sean Bell in New York, 2006. Oscar Grant, Oakland, California, 2009. Eric Garner, New York City, 2014. Michael Brown, Missouri, 2014. Laquan McDonald, Chicago, 2014. Freddie Gray, Baltimore, 2015. Antoine Rose, Pittsburgh, 2018. Ahmaud Arbery in Georgia, 2020. Breonna Taylor in Kentucky, 2020. George Floyd in Minneapolis, 2020. That's why the outrage. That's why the frustration and the anger. It is not about one situation. It's about the same situation happening again and again and again and again, and seeing the same thing and not learning the lesson. And then it's that happening in a broader context and a broader circumstances, which is what's going on with the coronavirus, which affects and kills more minorities than anyone else. You look around this country and you look at the people who are dying of the coronavirus, it is disproportionate African American people. And it's just a continuing injustice, and that's the frustration and that's the protests. Nobody is sanctioning the arson and the thuggery and the burglaries, but the protesters and the anger and the fear and the frustration, yes, yes. And the demand is for justice. And when the prosecutor came out and said, well, there's other evidence, but I can't tell you anything more than that, that only incited the frustration. Injustice in the justice system. How repugnant to the concept of America. And over and over and over again. I stand figuratively with the protesters. I stand against the arson and the burglary and the criminality. I stand with the protesters. And I think all well-meaning Americans stand with the protesters. Enough is enough. How many times do you have to see the same lesson replayed before you do something? This country is better than this. It has been better than this. And it shouldn't take this long to end basic discrimination and basic injustice.
Period. And that's why, Governor Cuomo, if you run for president, damn it, you got my fucking vote. It just is what it is, goddammit. This man, he and others definitely, when I say others, Governor Cuomo spoke his piece. Jamie Foxx has stood up. Michael B. Jordan has been out running the streets of LA with protesters alongside Kalani as well, doing that in LA. I don't even know where to begin. J. Cole is out in Fayetteville. I mean, you got Ray J randomly getting pulled into protesting in California, not even knowing what the hell's going on, really just getting out his Rolls Royce to start walking with people. And I really don't know if it was fake or set up, because he literally got out of the Rolls Royce and walked into a crowd with his fist up and left the car there. So I don't know if you just left your car in a crowd full of Rolls. You know what I mean? Like Rolls Royce in a crowd full of people, but it is Ray J from Love and Hip Hop. Moesha's brother. My thing is, it's just like, overall, I wanted us to gather and speak on this today and shed light on this, because we as a people definitely do need to take a stand. We as a people definitely do, need to be very aware of what's going on every day around us, and especially being in this city of Charlotte, North Carolina, where it's heavily populated African Americans and minorities overall. There were helicopters flying all around town yesterday because apparently there was a riot that broke out on Betty's Ford Road. I'm here to tell everyone that, in reference of looking at videos from different people who were on the street and who were black and white, that protest was ignited and started by a group of white people who actually met the cops face to face. And once they got face to face with the cops and the cops started retaliating, they actually allowed for the other people who were behind them, being of different minorities, being people from the locals, being the local neighborhood of Betty's Ford, coming up and then facing off with the police as those who ignited it began to diffuse away from the situation. Of course, those who lived there were the ones who ended up getting hurt, arrested, or whatnot, and things escalated from there. Now the city of Charlotte has supposedly been put under a state of emergency due to civil unrest. This is bigger, way bigger than just the three deaths that ignited this now full-on protest in March. Because you got to remember, before those three people lost their lives, so unfortunately, there were other lives that were lost as well, unfortunately, in unfortunate circumstances. So my thing is, we now have to take not just a stand, we need to take a calculated stand. We need to look at how this protest has supposedly not just been going on nationwide. There are now posts about the UK protesting for America.
I was going to say Europe is protesting. I see that. And then also they just trying to make it seem like all of the protests are happening because of George Floyd. It's not. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because when I watched the video of George, I seen it could have been easily one of my brothers. Mm-hmm. Okay? So it's not just about George. It's just the fact that 2020, that man was murdered in broad daylight by 4 police officers with people out there, watching, with that man begging and pleading for his life. And it was just inhumane. And if they can do it to him, they can easily do it to me. They can do it to you. And what the fuck we're saying is we're tired of that shit. It ain't gonna keep happening. No, we're not our ancestors where we're gonna be sitting here crying and scared and this and that. No, somebody gonna get fucked up. And that's where the anger comes from. And you know what I'm saying? The rage, I feel. But it's not from just George alone. You know what I'm saying? No, it's been shit before George that has been piling up to get us to this breaking point. But this breaking point we have seen, for years and years, Like they were saying here in this article, with the last real riot was in 1967, the Long Hot Summer riot. And it was like 159 race riots. Almost all African American, of course, occurred across the United States. And this was June 12th through June 15th in Cincinnati, Ohio.
And that's crazy too, because that's a very diverse state, even to this day. Ohio, period, is full. I mean, it's probably still predominantly Caucasian, but it's all different types of races there. And beyond that, you know, I got emotional when you was just speaking because it's like, I feel that Confucius energy, like, so yesterday, and we were talking about this in our private conversation before the show, I was going to see my grandmother who just got out of the hospital, and let's take a quick side note. All of my African American women, I need you to take your health seriously, and specifically all African Americans, I need us to take our heart health seriously. My grandmother has recently been placed on a pacemaker for her heart. And Friday, I got a call from my mom crying hysterically saying that my grandmother was taken to the hospital. Now, I got the call at 1:09, but this happened in the evening, like earlier in the day, and everybody waited so late to call and tell me because, of course, like, my mind ain't too well, all my screws ain't as tight as they should be. So I'm probably the last person that my family called when something bad happens. That's all I'm gonna say. And I know it by now, family. I don't feel bad. It's okay. I kind of like it that way. So I know for sure if I really need to come, or is it just like a stomach virus and they're going to be okay when they get out of the ER. But shout out to my grandma for being the thug that she is. Grandma a triple OG, and she made it through surgery. Long story short, she passed out, lost oxygen due to the fact that her overall heart rhythmic beat is not correctly pumping blood and circulating the blood through her body as it should. It's nothing necessarily dietarily wrong with her diet that's caused this. Actually, it's a blockage within her heart that was, genetically grown to block her heart in reference of different ventricles within the heart and, your different veins and arteries and things naturally growing within your life and within your body. And hers grew into sort of a blocking rhythmic way. When it pumps, it doesn't pump full blood through her body. So when she was in the hospital, Courtney, only 25% of her heart was being used. Couldn't see my grandma because of COVID. And they tell you that, nobody is allowed in there. They give you a hospital room number to call, and if your relatives answer the phone, they do. If they don't, they don't. Mm-hmm. They gave my grandma Narcan when they came in the house because they thought she had passed out. They gave her Amivan when they got her to the hospital because Amivan is what brings her heart rate, which is now elevated from Narcan back down. Being that her heart rhythm is already off, not knowing that her heartbeat's already slower than the average person, when Amivan brought her back down, it brought her back down. So now what we really are trying to figure out is if the Amivan had such a reaction and effect on it to where did it wear off? Yes, but could it possibly decrease the rhythmic flow of her heart further than what it was already degenerated? You get what I'm saying? Because she's 62. Mm-hmm. So, and she was a heart monitoring technician for almost 20 years. So she knew her heart had an incorrect rhythm back 30 years ago when she was 30 working in the hospital. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But had a heart doctor and everything. Nobody was telling her to go, you need to do this so this is going to happen. They were saying it's not that bad yet. It's not that bad. You can take this medicine to be good. And then when she got home yesterday and we were talking, it just fucked me up. She was like, well, damn, every cardiologist telling me it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Take this, you'll be good. This will help you do this, change this, da, 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 da. Well, what the fuck is that bad? Those are her exact words. And then it just fucked me up even further because my grandmother's biggest thing was, what if she didn't get to see her grandkids? She wanted to see me own a house one day. She wanted to see my sister raise my niece. You feel what I'm saying? She wanted to see my little brother graduate college as well. You feel what I'm saying? She wants to see her daughters continue to raise their children. You feel me? She wants to actually go off and just do more within her own life. So specifically, last week, going into this week, being black, almost losing my grandma. And then to be honest, it's like, I wouldn't even, thank God things played out how they did. Had the outcome been different, we would not be even sitting here today. Just giving it a fuck. You feel what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm personally sitting in my own circumstances of life, like my grandma, being black in America. You feel what I'm saying? It's a lot going on in my life, and I'm like you said, I got to do what I need to do for me to be here so that I can make sure that in the future, my brothers are taken care of. in the future my grandma's health is straight, and my grandma ain't got to worry about making sure she's gonna be able to see her children and grandchildren raised. You feel what I'm saying?
You can't add out of violence and anger today, because when you do that, you don't never think straight. Who can say they think clear when they're angry or when they're doing some type of violence? You're not thinking straight. And if that's your straight thought process, there's something fucking wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to sometimes bite the bullet so you can do what you have to do to pave the way for your generation that you're trying to leave something for. You can't be out here angry. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you might have to be a little bit more compliant, and then, motherfucker, why you pull me over, this, that, or B? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you need to think, okay, I gotta have kids. I need to leave something for these kids. And me going back and forth with this officer who I know can kill me one bullet and get away with it, and go on with his life, and go back home to his kids, gonna be good. And me, on the other hand, gonna be dead, and I'm gonna be another riot probably gonna start off of my death or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we have to break the cycle.
The curse and the cycle.
We have to break the cycle. Yes, let's gather in mass numbers, but let's not do it in an angry, violent way. Damn right, because you are heard in numbers. You know what I'm saying? But not the way we're going about it.
No. And like Tamika Mallory said, y'all want, and if you as in the public officials, as in the government, you know, everybody want people as in the society to do better, well then damn it, show us better. You have 40 million Americans on unemployment right now because of a fucking virus. You have beyond that, you have a virus that's plagued the fucking globe that could have been stopped and controlled but wasn't. We still don't have the full truth of its origins, but yet have monetary transactions tracked back to where the fuck money was donated to the people who research and create the virus. That points to Bill and Melinda Gates, but we don't want to talk about it. People are tired of living in a country where things are swept under the rug, but should not ever be swept under the rug. How Jeffrey Epstein and the people he actually did business with is regarding, you know, sex trafficking and women be swept under the rug right when coronavirus came up. But yet, when that whole trial was going on, sexual trafficking was a fucking trend and a wave. You had people in different fucking states, cities, activists, celebrities, everybody standing up for it. Now that, you know, yes, rightfully so, we are protesting the deaths of racial inequality, cool, but let's stand for more than just this one issue. There's a lot more to fight for than just black and brown and white hatred and racism, period. You know, just like people was, speaking on sexual trafficking back when the shit popped off with Jeffrey, they need to be speaking on it now. Why are we speaking on the deaths of everything else? You feel what I'm saying? Well, just how people
we paying so much attention to this shit,
they gonna think
get away with
everything else. That's what I'm saying. No, it's bigger than just race and inequality within the system of America that has oppressed the society. And damn it, the people are tired, and that's the unrest you're gonna get because you unrestly oppressed us into the systematic way of this oppressed thinking. And we can't think no damn more. We ain't getting paid for thinking anyway. So now you got people who not thinking. They just said, fuck it. And now they might actually be homeless. Might actually be without food. Might actually be without a job. Might have lost their children. You got some people who still haven't got the first stimulus check yet. You got rumors of a second one. So, mentally, physically,
emotionally, I'm drained.
It's a wrap.
I'm drained, I am, but at the same time, that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop trying to make a change. And like I said, I'm not gonna go ahead and repeat history. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make new history. That's what my goal is. I'm not gonna go back out here and repeat some shit that's been done. I'm trying to do some new shit. So we need to come up with some new solutions. We need to come up with, okay, yes, it's racism. Yes, it's inequality. But there's a whole lot of other shit. Like you was talking about how immigrants can come over here and they get, the stipends and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we built this land. We plowed these fucking fields. We did that. You know what I'm saying? But still, we're fighting to be equal. No, I don't. Fuck, if I ain't even gotta be equal, give me my shit so I can get my shit together so I can create some motherfucking generational wealth. Okay? That's what you can give me.
When the Europeans came over to America, you remember they were giving away land to the different European families. They were giving them acres of land.
Exactly. Give me my 40 acres.
2.2 million, I think it's 2.2 million acres of land given away from the early centuries of time in America when land was being established and settlements were being established and harvesting and planting and growing and farming and all that. So at the end of the day, when I think about that, I think about when they came to this land back in 1492 when Columbus brought the already enslaved indigenous people from South America to North America to further enslave the people of the indigenous tribes that were already here, being already black, being already Caribbean, being already Dominican, being already Spanish, being already from all over the world, the fuck ever, before these European people got off their ass and left their land to finally figure out what the fuck else was out there and not thinking that they're just the only motherfuckers on earth, we were here. They stole all of this from us to begin with. So I feel when every black person, every brown person, every person of inequality, because it don't even matter about race anymore. You got poor-ass white people, too. I know white people who've been struggling longer than I have, and I've known them my whole life. You feel what I'm saying? So, and they still struggling to this day. It don't make us it don't make me no better, it makes them no different, period. So at the end of the day, like my co-host is saying, we need a resolution, a solution to all of this. The violence isn't going to make anything better, because at the end of the day, everybody's going to continue to get angry and continue to retaliate, and it's just going to be what it is. Now, how do we get to this true resolution? I saw a post where a young man, I don't know, heard this shit, a shirt that said, "Free hugs."
I love that.
And what? No, you just said the answer to, you just said the resolution. You what? When you saw that video, you said
loved it.
That is the answer.
I loved it.
That is the only way we are going to come together. Is love. And I'm not saying that, like in the Bible, love thy neighbor as thyself. No. I'm not saying you got to be fake. That's not what I'm saying. But be human.
Yes.
Have morals. Notice that you are human like the next human next to you. There's nothing different or better or worse about you or them and vice versa within that conception of that mental capacity and understanding that. Like, I don't get how officers who are there to protect and serve society can watch a fellow officer kill a man in cold blood, and that Asian officer stood there while all the other
the look
three
was on his face.
And he just knew he was dead.
The look was on his face.
He knew.
The look was on that man's face, that Asian man's face. He could not hide that look on his face, and the look on his face was like, we're doing something we don't have no business doing.
Yeah.
And he trying to stand by, not really being hands on in the situation.
Not trying to be involved within the actual murder, but you're still the fucking murderer because you are the only person with the power to stop them from killing him. They don't show you within that moment that you were already a part of the other three beating his ass in the car before y'all even pulled him out the car. Oh, we couldn't get him in the car was what the Asian man
he was
said.
in the car. He was beat in the car.
Exactly. So
why y'all didn't go ahead and leave the motherfucker in the car and take his ass on down to the station?
On June 28th, we'll be doing an event for the homeless. And it's catered to the homeless, of course. I want to give back, make sure they're fed for 4th of July, make sure they got food and clothes and all that good shit. You know, as you can see, shit getting real out here. We want to make sure everybody's okay, but also I'm going to actually do a peace rally. I think I'm going to call a peace a call for a peace rally, basically.
We're doing a peace rally because, like, if we don't stand up and make a change, then who will?
And it'll be right here on good old 933 Louise Avenue in Uptown Charlotte, in our community area here within our office uptown. But and we're, like I said, going to feed everyone. We're going to provide you with toiletries for the homeless as well, and also canned goods that are imperishable items. And first come, first serve, of course. First come, first serve. And shit, I can't have it, I'm right. But at the end of the day, you can only do so much. And I feel like if everybody did their part and do what they could do, that's what can I can't see change not happening if people are genuinely trying. And that's people as in us as in everyday people. That's people as in the law enforcement. That's people as in the mayors like Keisha Lance Bottoms. That's people as in the governor like Governor Cuomo. And that's people like the asshole of a president we have being Donald Trump and his entire administration. I don't know how the fuck you even got into the White House still to this day. I really don't understand that shit. But
he did now. So shit, let's just figure out what the hell we're gonna do after him and
that's what I'm saying. And that's why we need to come together because we don't need do I really believe Trump? I remember I sat here and said that I don't believe he was a racist and really hated black people. But I did believe that he was obviously raised in that from the time being before, but then they'll say, well, how do you know his parents? If you actually go read biographies about Trump, his family was racist. But I said I don't believe that he was because Trump is about his money.
Right.
And that's why I feel like it's
Trump
racist.
money. You know what I'm saying? Trump doesn't see color. I feel like he sees
money. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a businessman. You know what I mean? And to be honest, we need somebody in office that does not see race. But at the same time,
they have morality.
He is going about it in the wrong way. As our president of the United States, you should not make certain statements to the public because it can be taken out of context. So therefore, you need to be wiser about what you're saying and how you're responding to a certain situation.
Because that's why he's worried about the looting. That's why.
But to me, you know, he has some good parts to be him. I like the way how he's controlling the money and the economy. I have never been able to experience a president I felt like who's really trying to make it easier for me per se to make more money. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always been the rich get rich and the poor stay.
You're saying now within the pandemic and how they're handling it.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just with the money. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these, major billionaires, like they're getting taxed and, that money is being circulated. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not saying take all of this man money because he's a filthy rich billionaire. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm tired of working for a company 25 years just to get fired when they're ready to bring somebody else in younger than me. You know what I'm saying? And let me buy stocks, let me buy shares within my company that I don't work for and spend all my damn life for slaving for. Because it's the little people that gets these major corporations these billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? These people ain't accumulating these billions from answering the phones they sell, being nice to their customers, making sure their products get out, making sure the services, it's us little people, but we're the ones who get the short end of the stick, per se, in the end, once they're done with you. And Trump is making it a way where I will be able to own my own business a little bit better and easier than it was 10 years ago. And now, if you do work for a major company and you do end up retiring, you have the opportunity to buy into that company. You know what I'm saying? Give us these opportunities so we can start to have more for ourselves and quit having to feel like we want a handout. Because I don't want a fucking handout. I bust my ass for any and everything that I have and will continue to do until the day I die. I'm not looking for no fucking handout. But what I am is looking for a motherfucking clear path or a way to do what I'm trying to do.
Without
like
a system of
or, you know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for.
I'm looking
for an open door policy for me to be
I don't need to go build my credit to only go to a bank for the bank to tell me, I'm sorry, your skin's too dark, I can't write you this loan with a 900 credit score.
Exactly.
Are you fucking dumb? That don't even exist. How the fuck are you gonna tell me no? Like, you feel what I'm saying? And I mean, it's crazy. I definitely feel where you're coming from as far as how they've handled the aid within relief, the unemployment payouts, all of that. I'm definitely all for. I'm glad that that's been handled correctly. Black people shouldn't have to be faced with such inequality that we were faced with from hundreds of years ago. If I have the credit criteria and credentials needed to get a business loan, I should be awarded that loan. If I have, whatever is needed to be met for me to be able to go running and jogging in my neighborhood, I should be able to go running and jogging in my neighborhood and maybe even stop and check by a new house that's being built without having to worry about being shot the fuck up because I'm going to check that out in my neighborhood. If I'm a paramedic sleeping in my house and you're serving a warrant on someone who's living with me, you should serve that warrant how you're supposed to serve the warrant when you serve warrants within the law. You knock on the door and let yourself be, you enunciate who you are and that you're serving a judicial warrant and that the person that you're looking for is in his home and you come and you attempt to, arrest that person. Right. And then if they're combative, you remove everyone else who's not the combative person needing to be arrested regarding the warrants out of that area and then isolate the situation and control and contain it. You don't kill Breonna Taylor because she was there, and I believe it wasn't the boyfriend they were trying to get. Right. You arresting the boyfriend and you kill her in the midst. And then, my nigga, she's a paramedic. You're on the same team. It made no sense. She kind of lost her life in vain because she worked for you and you killed her. She worked for the city of Louisville, and the city of Louisville killed her. Let's talk about it. So it's just like things have to change. Beyond anything, things have to change.
We got to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. We have to start somewhere. So, again, we might need to do a poll or something to see what people think of how we can, again, get change, but then go about it and get it in a different way.
Yes.
So, everybody got opinions, but when we put them together and come up with solutions and create plans, that's when we'll make a difference. Because everybody's saying something now. Mm-hmm. Everybody's saying something. But, okay, words can just bounce off the walls all day until they're actually implemented.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, let's do something different. Let's figure out what we have to do.
It's so crazy because I was just telling you like a month ago I want to come up with a good way to relaunch People for Progress. The charity I want to relaunch. Well, I'll be damned.
There you go. We already got
We ain't gotta be.
They're gonna open those.
Let's get to it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. June 28th is the date that we're gonna stick with. It's a Sunday, the last Sunday of June. We're gonna go ahead and host an event, not only for the homeless. Of course, that's what it's catered to the homeless, to make sure they're good going into the summer and going into just shit, all of this shit within 2020, and truly just going into the holiday weekend, being that 4th of July is right after that week, and we want to make sure everyone is prepared as far as food, shelter, toiletries, perishable goods, even fireworks. We'll be giving away fireworks as well. Again, everything is first come, first served. The event will most likely start in the afternoon, so probably around 1 p.m. is when we'll actually start distributing everything, and just, we'll even I'm going to definitely have vendors set up for as far as barbers, as far as, pronounce the word I'm looking for.
Esthetician.
There you go. And then we're going to have a little bit of everything there, so I'm pretty excited, and I'm definitely going to be reaching out to a bunch of people soon, so be on the lookout for a flyer at our page being at MikeCheck_1_2. And also, you can check our personal pages, being the beautiful Courtney and me, as well. It's also at
Courtney_me.
Yes, and at _O'Neal_. And make sure you follow our brother, the good old Dejon Houston, at DHouston704. And with that being stated, we thank you all for checking in and tuning into the wonderful podcast. Mike Check 1212.
1, 2.
And this is your girl,
Courtney and me.
your
one
boy
and only.
Jay O'Neal, keeping it live. Please make sure that y'all be on the lookout for the merch. I've definitely been promising this for like 3 weeks now. I'm not even gonna count. It's been a little minute. I just want to make sure everything is straight.
Your shit.
I am, because at June 28th, all the merch will be here. So I'm excited, and everything will be straight.
We got to get more positive energy going, guys. We got to think positive, do more positive things. And it's going to be contagious. So we want a better world. We got to start.
Yes, and again, this is your boy Jay O'Neal, and one from my Check 1212, the beautiful, the wonderful, the chocolate goddess Courtney and me. And you all have a wonderful Sunday.
Good night.